Welcome to the show. I am so excited for this episode because it is going to be an exciting one. I have tons, and I mean tons to talk about, and I'm going to try to squeeze it all in, let's say, half an hour. Let's see if I can do that. I doubt it, but here goes. So far, my episodes have all been an hour long, but today's episode is exciting because if you have not been aware of this secret DM toolbox, it's going to game change how you slide in for business on LinkedIn as well. I have this amazing scroll stopper. You can't afford to miss this one. Talk about getting noticed in an organization. And speaking of getting noticed, what I'm noticing right now, and it's not just me as a Gen-Exer. There are a lot of other Gen-Exers kind of feeling the same thing and talking about this as well. And it's actually trending on LinkedIn. So the topic that we're talking about is, are Gen-Exers getting overlooked? Yes, they are. So we're going to be talking about that. We're going to dive into this Harvard Business Review article that you definitely want to take a look. It's trending right now on LinkedIn, and we'll be talking about that. We'll be debating that. Are Gen-Exers getting the short end of the stick when it comes to getting opportunity? And maybe that's why you have to create your own. I don't know, but we'll be talking about that. Of course, tap that app with 2 P's. Please. Anyways, we're going to be sharing, or I am going to be sharing, because this is a one-woman show, if you haven't figured it out. I am going to be sharing an amazing, well, it's not really an app this time, but an amazing way for you to remove a background of a photo in just one click. There are so many usages for that, and I can't wait to share them with you. And I just have a quick data saving tip that I had to figure out on my own, and some of you nerds probably already know it, but this nerd didn't this time. And it is all about, if you find all of a sudden you're getting active on a particular network, all of a sudden your data keeps creeping up. I think it's 10 or 12 gigs per month, and I ran through them. I work from home half the times. So that means that I'm on the home Wi-Fi. How am I running through 12 gigs of data? I'll tell you what I did to stop that data overage bleeding, because I was hemorrhaging. Okay, and of course, your questions, my answers, and all the conversation in between on this must-see TV, social TV, that is. So I'm excited to have you watching with me, and I'm just going to check in right now to make sure you guys are tracking along with me, you're watching, and let me know. Let me know if you can hear me. Hey, I see Randall from New Orleans. I see Elizabeth. I see Eric. I see Natasha. I see Bryn. Thank you guys so much for checking in with me. And I was wondering, so I want to know from you right now, those of you watching, have you ever found or come across this secret toolbox in the DMs? It is an amazing group of tools that you may not notice are there, but are helpful for you when it comes to doing business in the direct messages. And let me tell you, more business actually happens behind the scenes than what gets posted publicly. So I'm going to dive into just some of the ways that you can take advantage of that. And just give me a second as I switch up my screens, make sure that we are all on the same page here. So yes, we're talking about the secret DM toolbox. Okay, so let's go into my full PowerPoint. Take a look at this. Well, screen anyways. So, there we go. You're thinking, hey, I need to send a DM to somebody because, I want to have a conversation about business. So why not? So you jump in the DMs and you're like, well, okay, Dr. Maurice Stinnett, I'm going to send you a DM. And of course, one of my favorite features, and maybe not that secret, but this is not what I'm talking about, is the voice notes. So if you haven't sent a voice note before, look here, because I'm going to show you how to do it. Okay, right there. If you have never noticed that little microphone, that is going to game change how you work with people on when you're sending messages, because you can now respond, which is really cool. You can actually respond to people. And let's come up on camera for a bit. Let's take a look here. You can respond to people. And let me just make sure I can actually see myself. Yes, I can see myself. So that means you can see me too. So what's great about sending a voice note to somebody, and a lot of us are talking about it right now because it is super personal. We're so inundated with all of these, a link and a pitch. People are just sliding in the DMs with this long format email that no one cares about. But you can send somebody a voice note. You can respond to something. You can connect with them. And it feels so personal. It's actually the kind of voicemail that we want to pick up. So you can do that in the LinkedIn voicemail. I think I talked a little bit about it last week. And it's really simple to use. So let's go back to my camera. On screen anyways, and take a look. So you press that button, right? You got me so far? You following? All of a sudden, this is what happens. This part of the screen pops up. You press that blue button and you can record for 60 whole seconds. Here's the thing. You cannot listen to it back. So love it, or you can just slide to the left and get rid of it. It's all good, and you could start again. This is, again, a great way of connecting with people and leaving them that personalized message after you've connected with them, after you've read an article with them. So it's something that you want to take advantage of. And the next opportunity that I see for you to do here is, you might have noticed something different or not noticed what I want to show you next. So looking at this screen right now, you probably, and we'll go back to that screen in just a second, okay, I've seen that microphone before. But what are you talking about? Where is this secret toolbox that I'm about to show you that you are going to totally love? And guys, in the comments, let me know if you have tried. I want to know, have you sent a voice note to somebody before? Yes or no with voice note? I want to know. All right. So back in to the toolbox I go. All right. So check it out. All right. So we knew where the microphone is, but have you ever seen this button before? Yeah, that plus button right there. This is a button that you might not have noticed. You might just have said, hey, that's a great aesthetic. I like that plus button. I've seen it, but I've never pressed it. So when you press that button, boys and girls, your game is about to change. So check it out. All right, we press the button. We're back. Look what opens up. This is the secret toolbox that I'm talking about. Okay, so you can send an attachment, right? You can send a picture from your photo album on your phone. This, by the way, is all mobile. So you keep that in mind. Right? You can also open up your camera and snap a picture. When would that be cool? Well, say for example, you want to talk to you want to show somebody something that's going on right now. You can also do that with video. And here's another cool thing. Let me jump on camera for a second. Here's another really cool thing that you can do with video is you can send somebody a personalized video. So forget the voice note when you can jump on your camera and be like, hey, this is what's up. Hey, and really have that personalized one-on-one video conversation that's happening. We see that already happening on Instagram. You can already do that. And this video feature is pretty new. So let me know, guys, have you tried this yet? Have I received my first in-app video message not too long ago from somebody else. So I wasn't even the first one to try it before I received it. But it is definitely something that, again, it's all about making that personal connection. So on top of that, let's see here. We can now, I'm going to go back into the screen so you can take a look at what else is in this secret toolbox. Okay, so you can send a GIF. Again, that is always a great way to communicate emotion. And I love the other thing. Here's the next thing, location. So let's say you're meeting up with somebody for the very first time. You're meeting with them. They don't know exactly where you are. Maybe you've connected with them and you're going to like, hey, let's meet at this conference. So what you could do is you can send your actual location to them. They offer this technology or this sort of feature on WhatsApp. You can do it through text, but now you can do it right in the LinkedIn app. I think that's pretty cool. Okay, so you can tell them if you're at the right coffee shop. If there's 2 Starbucks on the same street, practically on the same block, now you can show them exactly where you are. Okay, now for my last and most favorite feature. That's the word I was looking for. Let's jump back into the screen so you can take a look, because I love this one, because I find that what we're about to talk about is probably one of the most annoying texts that you have to send back and forth to each other. So let's take a look. So we go back into the screen. Now we're looking, and here's what I'm talking about, baby. Sending availability. Have you ever had one of those annoying conversations where it's like, okay, you're trying to, it's really like a texting conversation. Let me get back on camera here. You're having this texting conversation. It's like, okay, we can do it at this time. We can have a call at that time, or we can meet at this time. And you're trying to figure out what's best for this person. A lot of people have Calendly or Acuity. That's the one I use. But sometimes I've found that depending on the different generations that I talk to, some people actually don't like going into your calendar, having that next step. They just want to work out the date. And some people have told me that they're even offended by receiving a link. I wouldn't go that far, but hey, I don't know. Some people are offended. But let me show you how this works, because this is awesome. So if you wanted to send availability, okay, availability when it comes to when you can meet, talk, have that phone call. You can do it right in this secret toolbox in your DMs on your phone. Let me show you. Okay, jumping back in here now. All right, so what it does, once you press that button, here's what comes up, your calendar. Then you can select days, you can select times, and you can go through, you can pick multiple dates, and then it sends a note. Once you press send, it'll send a note saying, here are the times that work for me. And it already pre-populates. These are the times that work for me. And then it gives a bunch of times. And what's cool is the ones that are blue are, because they haven't passed yet, they can be linked into their calendar, so they can immediately enter in the notes. And I think that's really, really hype. Let me know in the comments right now, guys. Jumping in here, let me know in the comments right now, is this something that you would use? I would use it. Actually, I already use it, and I think it is such a cool secret toolbox. And I also want to know, did you know about this toolbox before? Have you ever clicked on that plus button? Let me know, because I think it is super cool. And I don't know, that's a lot of business happening, and there's so many ways to integrate how you are using the LinkedIn DMs as a part of your business development, as a part of your relationship building, and it's all in the app, where it just becomes that much more seamless when having these conversations. So I want to know, what do you think? Are you using it? I'm jumping into the app right now to see what you guys are talking about in this conversation here. So I'm not seeing a lot of activity, and I don't know if it's just my apps, or are you guys commenting? Because I want to be able to see comments. So can you guys comment right now to see if that is happening, if you guys can hear me, see me? I'm just checking this out to see if it's working. So let's see. Okay, I see that there's people there. I see that people are checking it out, which is great. Oh, I see a ton of comments. For the longest time, all I could see is 64. Yep, I see a lot of people. Alejandro's like, I would use it. Does that, Dion's asking the question, does that connect with Calendly or the Google Calendar? So it connects with your default calendar on your phone. So that's something that you'll have to work out and try to see which one works best for you. And usually what I had to do, because the default calendar on the iPhone is the iCal. So I had to make sure that my Google Calendar was locked in to my iCal. I didn't do that before, so that was something that I had to push forward. And then on top of that, my Acuity, which is kind of like Calendly, that is also connected as well. And Done Right Landscape says, hey, Nina. Mariella, hi. Charmaine, hi. Natasha, hi. David, yay, guys. Thank you guys so much for checking in and letting me know that you can see. Linda, hey. Great way to share portfolios. Yes, Raman, I couldn't agree with you more. That is definitely something that you want to do. And let's see. Just making sure. So definitely try this toolkit out. It is the dopest of the dope toolkits, I tell you. Okay, so bear with me just a second. And I want to make sure that I'm moving into the right screen. PowerPoint on, that's what I want. All right, it's getting smoother each episode with this one woman show. It's getting smoother each time I do it. So the next thing I wanted to do is move into this awesome scroll stopper. And just let me make sure there's no other questions. Give me 1 second. Yes, all the time. I love it. So Elizabeth's always using that. Great feature. It definitely is. Dr. Terry Carell says she has used it and love the passion. Thank you very much. I love being passionate. I don't like the availability because you can't block those times and accidentally double book. Oh, I agree on that, Bryn. So there's definitely, it's not a perfect solution, which I'm sure you've counseled a lot of your clients about, but it's definitely something that you want to see, hey, could it work for you? Some people have sent voice messages to me and it resonates differently. I couldn't agree more, Dr. Terry Carell. I could not agree with you more because it is that nice personal connection that we all crave in this digital world. Okay, that's pretty cool. Yes, it is, Susanna. It is very cool. Great. People can hear me. I'm loving this. Didn't know about it, Derek says, but this is very helpful. I'm so glad this is helpful. And Ronell's just checking in. Hey, Ronell, love it. Okay. Lots of people saying they would use it and they didn't know. Never paid attention to that plus. Now you know you've just plussed your way into a whole toolbox of DMs. But it's time to move on to my scroll stopper. So before I do that, I just want to double check to make sure that I'm up to date with everybody. It's a little bit tactical here. Just figuring out all the different things. But let's check here. All right. So, and hi to all the people watching on Facebook, watching on LinkedIn, watching on Twitter, watching on YouTube. I'm broadcasting everywhere. I need one more screen so I can see all the comments. So please forgive me. I will jump in at the end to kind of check out what everybody else is saying. And damn, it's hot in here. I got studio lights blazing on me, but that's okay. I'm okay. I'll survive. All right. So jumping into this scroll stopper, we got to talk about this right now. And because it is pretty dope. And this is from Marquise Ware. I'm going to jump into let's see here. I'm going to show you guys this awesome video live in full effect because it is so good. So basically, let me set this up for you. He's an intern at Nike. He also is a LinkedIn campus editor. So he definitely knows how to get attention. And taking a look at this post itself is he does the smart thing. So again, the smart thing is about is what I want to break down when it comes to these posts and things that you need to recognize and how you can leverage this information for your posts. And this, again, is all about getting the right attention at your organization. So let's move back into the post for a second. All right. So this is the day this is a day in the life of a Nike intern. So already he's made sure that Nike can see that because he's tagged them. All right. I love where I'm at and I love what I'm doing. It gets no better than this. He has a few emojis and then he also has a full video in the comments. And then what's really smart is he has his own hashtag, which is keys, which is awesome. And just do it. So let me just show you. This video is really short. It's 53 seconds. But what you may not be able to see down at the bottom is the fact that he has 1,600 reactions, 88 comments, and 43,000 views in just 1 week. So to me, that's pretty impressive. So I'm going to give you guys just a taste of what's happening here. And give me 1 second. All right. This is me getting used to all this good stuff. All right, so you guys can see this. Hopefully you can see the video. Hopefully it's going. Nope, not yet. Hold on. All right. So all I need to do now, again, figuring out this tech, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get it. I promise. All right. Desktop audio. That's what I want. Okay. So you should be able to now. Nope. Hold on. Hold on. I got it. Oh my gosh. All right. Let me pull you guys back to me for a second. And I wanted to, so let me give you guys main camera for a second. Yes, I wanted to show you the actual video. And I just need to figure it out. So give me a sec. And it's pretty good. So it's worth all of my little technical snafus here. So you guys can actually see the video and hear it. I think I've got it. Give me 1 second. Okay, here goes. Yes. Okay. Yeah, technical stuff. But did you guys hear it? Did you guys see it? Did you guys see how cool and easy that video was? And it was something that definitely made an impact. 48,000 views in a week. That's pretty awesome. But the strategy is not just about the views. The strategy is about getting noticed within an organization. He's an intern right now. And so just creating that momentum. And if he has a solid networking strategy from within, because there's so much to be thought about when it comes to building your brand from within. Branding is an inside job too. It's not just for the entrepreneurs. It's for the professionals who want to get noticed within your organization. And as a millennial, he's started this young. He's making moves. People are noticing him and he's getting those accolades. So whether he lands at Nike, whether he goes somewhere else, he's getting the attention. He's putting himself out there in a bold way. And if you look at the editing, I mean, it was a good video, but it wasn't like he had a professional production. He put it together. He made it fun. It was short. He has a longer video on YouTube. So really at the end of the day, it was about sharing his experience. And it was very interesting. So what I want to know from you guys, what do you think? What do you guys think about that video? Were you able to hear it and see it and everything else? Okay, let's see. Yes, we hear you. Yay, yay, yay. Were you guys able to see it? That's what I want to know. Wow, you guys are so excited. Wow. All right, so you see it. Yes, what do you guys think? There's such an awesome vibe and energy about that. So again, getting noticed. And let me just sum up this scroll stopping tip. He mentioned the company that he's interning for. And if you're already an employee somewhere, you can mention the company that you work for. He has used two hashtags. And then he's brought you in personally. And then if you go on his profile, he is also bringing you in and you get an idea of his professionalism at a young age, and you're like, yeah, this is a kind of guy that I'd want on my team. You get his personality, you see his team, and I just think overall, well done. It definitely made me stop the scroll. When I was scrolling, I was like, who is this guy? And he clearly got the attention, not just of me, but 43,000 views. That's looking kind of good. So well done. Scroll stopping. Love it. All right. So let's move on, and let me just see where I'm at, guys, on my rundown. Trying to keep it tight. Yeah, so much for a half an hour. I try. I really do. But there's just so much to talk about. So the next area that I wanted to talk about, this is a hot topic right now. It is now trending on LinkedIn. It is kind of a big deal. And it's all about, is Gen X, are they being overlooked? And according to this Harvard article, they sure are. So let's take a look at this article. Give me 1 second while I pull it up. And it's something that a lot of people, if you read even the comments on it, on the article itself, and being part of this conversation, you're seeing definitely that it is. And let's go take a look. And we're seeing right now, Gen X overworked at work. It sure is. And in this new Harvard Business Review article, it features the research that's coming out, and companies are about to have a problem with Gen X retention. So what I'm curious to know is how many people right now are kind of experiencing that in their organizations, where they're saying, hey, we're not getting the promotions. I have a few stats that I want to share with you. So Gen Xers, if you guys are not sure about the age range, they are now ranging in the ages of their late 30s to early 50s. And they should be at the peak stages of their careers. But yet, 66% of Gen X leaders have only received one promotion in the past 5 years. One promotion in the last 5 years, and they are leading the way of not being promoted. Have you noticed this? Have you noticed that you are not getting the attention that you deserve as a Gen Xer? What do you think is going on with that? And I'm just looking back again into the comments to see, because this is a reality that we're facing. And we're also seeing that some of the reasons why. I would love to know why you think this is the case, because the stats say so, but what are some of the reasons? I want to know based off of what you've seen. Let's see. I'm just jumping into the comments. A lot of people are still loving that toolbox, which is awesome. And yeah, let's see. Well, I will wait for your comments to come through. Of course, sometimes it takes a little longer, but that's okay. This is must-see social TV, and it is what it is. So I'd love to hear again your comments on this major issue. Are you being overlooked at work? Anybody want to share them in the comments below? As well, are you an HR professional? I know, Natasha, you've been watching, and this is your thing. This is HR is your thing. Are you seeing this? Are you seeing these trends that are in the Harvard Business Review? And let me see, what else do I want to say? A lot of people are saying it's because the baby boomers, they're not leaving their jobs. They're staying in a lot longer. So therefore, the next layer to be promoted, they're kind of sitting on the sidelines waiting. Do you guys think that's it? As well, they're also saying that, you know, there's so much attention on millennials and integrating millennials into the workplace, making sure that they're happy and they're sticking around because of the changing landscape of work. So is that why Gen Xers are being ignored? Curious to think. Okay, curious to see. And again, I'm not getting any updated comments, so let me know what you guys are thinking about this topic, or we'll just move on. So bear with me just a second. Just taking a look here. Okay, so yeah, a lot of people are noticing the change. I'm seeing that this is definitely something that there's an issue on. here's where I'm going to give you my lens and perspective, or where I see the opportunity, which ties in perfectly to the scroll stopper that we just talked about. So with the scroll stopper, that was all about getting noticed in the workplace. And I find through my training, working with teams, the Gen-Exers have this incredible amount of talent, this incredible amount of experience, but I often see the reservation about putting it out there. And let me just make sure. Oh, give me 1 second, guys. Yes. So what I'm seeing is that Gen-Exers are reserved about owning their awesome and putting it out there. So they're not taking the time on LinkedIn to really shine in the right way. They're not really adopting the attention-getting strategies that we see a lot of millennials that are quick to adopt social. They may not all know, especially the more younger-sided, younger-aged millennials, they may not know how to actively leverage it from a business perspective, but they're on there. They're using it in a more effective way. I see that it's definitely something that's growing in the space of the Gen-Exers, and they recognize the opportunity there. But what you need to do is start thinking about, how are you getting noticed? What is your networking strategy from within the organization? Also, what are you doing to position yourself so people know why they should be promoting you, and that you are on the tip of people's tongues? You're getting noticed. People are talking about you. People are seeing you. Look at how Marquise got seen and heard. How can you leverage this in a way that makes sense for your brand in an organization? Those are things that you need to think about. How are you leveraging your visibility from a social perspective? Creating thought leadership, creating a network of visibility. LinkedIn's a great platform for that. It's not the only platform, but it's definitely a great platform. So you need to start. If you're in Gen X and you're like, listen, I'm getting passed over for opportunities, it's time to get noticed. Okay, so we're going to move on because I'm not seeing any comments from there. Bear with me a second. All right, we're going to move on to the next topic. And that topic is, bear with me, it's all about tapping that app. Okay, I'm excited about this because I don't know about you guys, but if you ever have to do anything creative, if you ever have to create graphics or anything like that, whether it's for something you have to send in, whether you want to, up-level your LinkedIn background or do something really cool with a picture of you or anything, there's this really cool app that, well, it's not really an app, but it is a great website that with one click, it will just remove the background like magic. Yes, magic. So I'm going to show that to you guys right now. So let's take a look. And it's called remove.bg. And basically, that's the website address, by the way. And basically, what it will do, within one click, you can select a photo, or you can just simply upload a photo. So it's up to you. So you can use a URL or you can upload a photo. And within one click, it will remove the background. And it's free. Here, it's not just people. It can do items too. And that's what it looks like. And it will give you a PNG. So it's definitely something you want to start playing around with. Especially, is there anybody watching right now thinking, hey, I could use this in my life. This is pretty cool. Let's take a look. And that's the address that you go to. So remove.bg. Trust me, there's so many different opportunities for this one to be used. If you're creating graphics, if you're speaking somewhere and maybe you want to give them a headshot plus a removal, a background, like the background totally removed, you can try it. I love it because it is super easy. They also offer a paid version where you can get higher resolution photos, but for the most part, this is really cool. And if you use Canva, which is another favorite graphic design app, this works perfectly. You can do whatever you want. You can create all of your own layouts. So definitely bookmark that site, remove.bg, and that'll help you out for sure. Okay, so moving right along in my lineup, let's take a look here. we are moving into this quick tip. It's all about data. Since whenever I get really active on LinkedIn, like really active, all of a sudden my data rates just shoot right up. Like, I don't know how I'm running out of data. Does this happen to anybody where you are just running out of data? Well, I want to know what you do to save on data. But here's one thing that I figured out that I could do. Basically, I go into the settings of my phone, right? Go into the settings. And then I basically turn off background refreshing because I took a look at all the data happening in my phone. And I couldn't believe how much of a significant difference there was with my data used on LinkedIn as opposed to any other app. It had like a running total. And since I got this new phone, which is not too long ago, it's already at, I think LinkedIn was at like 58 gigs, where the closest second was Instagram at 12 or 13. It was insane. So I'm like, what is going on? Well, basically, every time someone mentions your name, every time someone's sending you a DM, and I get a lot of activity because of these videos, it's constantly refreshing in the background. And what is that using, my friends? Your data. So you want to make sure that you are paying attention to that. And I'm curious, anybody else have some data saving tricks? I want to know. Share them with people. This is all about the people's broadcast. Okay, let me see. There's anybody else in here today that has any data saving tips? Because I want to know. Have an unlimited data plan. Oh my gosh, I so hear you. But Canada is one of the highest as far as overpriced market when it comes to data. There are some people who want a US cell plan just so they can have unlimited data. That's not even a thing here. They just introduced 10 gigs of data and then they called it unlimited. Meaning what they're doing is after you get to 10 gigs, they'll throttle your data. So you won't go over, but it will be super slow. That's not unlimited data, but that's as good as it gets here in Canada. So it is crazy. It hurts. And it's definitely something that we're going to have to work around. But if anybody else has any other tools, I'd love to know it. And I'm just checking in on the comments, and I'll jump back in now because I think I'm going to go into my cues or your cues to, and I got A's to your cues. Of course I do. And I just want to jump back into the comments. So it looks like the comments have refreshed finally, and I can get back into that comment action because there's a lot of activity around this Gen-Exers. They seem to have to wait their turn and pay their dues. So let's talk about that. Have you found, so Dr. Terry Carroll said that, they seem to have to wait at their turn and pay their dues. I also think that in addition to that, that is something that because I'm a Gen Xer as well, and I'm into I'm not even a young Gen Xer, I'm like a middle Gen Xer. And it is something that culturally we've also been, you're lucky to have, you're in this position and be happy that you're working. One is that's not good enough anymore. Let's see. Gen Xers have the experience and talent, but don't adopt to change. Very interesting. I'm loving these comments. Thank you so much for sharing. So Linda missed the toolbox. Don't worry. You can scroll back to the beginning. That was the first thing that I covered. Let me see. How do you link the availability to your personal calendar, manually or separately? So that question was basically it connects to your calendar that's on your phone. So it depends on which ones you have and how you have it set up, but it's all mobile based. Esther says the job market as a whole is very competitive. So much more in that she's seen right now than in her entire 20-year experience. So that's interesting. And then Melanie says that was an interesting application, that background remove.bg. Yes, it is awesome. It's for those who can't rock the Photoshop, that's perfect. Because I remember there was this other app that you had to kind of slice around and fix it and all this stuff. This makes it pretty crispy and clean. Yep. Use free Wi-Fi. So Carlton, thank you for your tip. Use free Wi-Fi wherever you go. You know what? I'm guilty sometimes of just not wanting to log in, and it's not a safety issue. I'm just like guilty. I just, be rolling. I'll be in Starbucks and I'll log in on my computer, but not in on my phone. That doesn't make any sense. I know. So let's see. Yes, Linda says she could totally use that. I bet you can, because it's an awesome app. And let's see what else. I just want to make sure that I'm capturing everybody's questions. Anybody else have questions for me? I want to know. Thank you guys so much for sticking in there. 9:44. So I was trying for half an hour. That's practically impossible with all the comments that I have. All the content that I have, because I just love talking about this. But let's see. I'm going to now see the most recent comments. Is live on LinkedIn available to everyone? Great question, Dr. Nakia White. It is not available yet. However, everyone is it's available for everyone to apply for. So if you search, it's the fastest way to get to it is to search Google LinkedIn Live application, and it will bring you to the link inside LinkedIn. That's like the fastest way to get there. And you just have to fill out an application, and they're working through the process. It's in beta testing right now. So what that means is they're having users test it, and then they'll figure out, if it can handle the load, any changes they need to make, and then open up wider and wider to the audience. Okay. Got a T-Mobile plan with unlimited data. They totally rip us off in Canada. That's right. Dion, I know. We are just like so ripped off up here, but hopefully they're getting better. So Elizabeth, as far as a quick data saving tip, she switched her email settings to push for new data. So I get new emails when I open the app. Yes. So that push notification thing, you want to have it so when you open your app, that's when it's going to go and push out and check for new email. That is smart. It also cuts down on battery usage. Thank you for that tip. You're right. It does. All right. And let's see. That's a great tip for sure. Morella said, I think we Gen-Exers were raised with a different mindset. Be happy with the job. Look for stability. And stay there until you retire, which I don't necessarily agree with, because we can be and do everything we put our mind to. Exactly. And then not on top of that, we put our mind to it, and then it's about leveraging the tools that are in front of us. Again, getting noticed, putting yourself out there, putting your skills out there so you are so good that you can't be ignored. And that's what I believe is one of the missing links that people are not leveraging, is the fact that they're not owning what makes them awesome. They're not creating the thought leadership, or at least the presence and the network. They know they have a network. They know they can pick up the phone and call somebody, but they're not leveraging their network online. And the interesting thing is, from a LinkedIn perspective, most Gen-Exers have the LinkedIn app on the phone. Most Gen-Exers are scrolling through LinkedIn almost on a daily basis. But again, it's like showing up to work and not getting paid if they do not engage in the comments, if they do not engage with their network, or they don't actively build their profile. Their profiles often look like, and this is most people, but I think the opportunity right now for leadership and opportunity is again in that Gen-Xer level, because they have the right level of experience, the right competency, the competency and the confidence to really rock in their roles, right? Oh, I like that, rock in their roles. But they need to be leveraging the new way. You don't get tapped anymore. It's not about tapping that shoulder. You need to get noticed. So let's see. I'm interested in seeing. So I love Natasha, my expert, HR expert, in the live comments right now. I love it. Thank you for jumping in. And let's see. She's the one to talk to if you got HR questions. Definitely, she's here live. Again, see who's up there. I wish eventually the tech will be so on point that the comments will be right on point with me. So bear with me a second. and improve our skills. Personal development is super important. I agree. Hi, Diana. It just feels like it was yesterday that we saw each other. And Diana, where are you at right now? You're not in Chicago anymore. You're not in Toronto anymore. Where are you now? I think Virginia? I can't remember. Let us know in the comments. What software am I using to produce the show and add graphics? It looks amazing. Ross, thank you so much. So the software that I'm using is called Streamlabs OBS. It is a gamer software, actually. It's free, which is awesome. So I'm testing that out right now. I also use Restream.io. And between those two, and then the graphics I actually handmade, and I leveraged things like Canva and PowerPoint to create them. So that's what I've done. And then streaming it through Streamlabs and then multi-streaming through Restream.io. So that's my whole magic in 3 to 4, I think I mentioned 4 programs. Yeah, not easy, but it sure is fun. Let's see, what else? What else are people saying? Any other questions for me about the live stream, about the scroll stopper, about the secret toolbox? My question for you is, are you going to be using it? Do you have a plan to use it? Because you should. It's awesome. All right. And, well, let's see. This is so fun. Are you guys having fun? You guys loving this? Loving LinkedIn Live? I think it's like, seriously, must see social TV. I'm running with that slogan until it becomes something, okay? All right. Let me see. Final questions, guys. Final questions. If there's anything that you want to know, I look forward to jumping in. Oh, could I share the link to the Nike intern video? We couldn't hear it. Oh, that sucks. I thought I figured that out. I tested that. But yes, Elizabeth, I will make sure I share the link below. But in the meantime, you can look up Marquise Ware. You should find it. And if you look up Keys, so Quiskeys, you should be able to see it. I'm so sad that you didn't get to hear it. Press the wrong button. That's okay. Wondering if your comments are slowed down or if you turn off that constant refresh feature. Oh, Felicia, look at you troubleshooting. Well, the constant refresh feature, that's a really good question. I think it's about background feature because I keep on refreshing manually. So I don't know. I wish you taught classes on creating and sharing content. Don't worry, Elizabeth. Guess what? That's in my work list of things to do because I do want to do that, and I do want to be able to expand in the way that I do. I mean, I focus pretty much on the corporate training side of my business, but I am looking at ways where I can help individuals as well more than I do right now because there's lots to know, and I love this sort of stuff. So, you know me, I love helping. Engagement is so important. I couldn't agree more. Randall, you are the king of engagement. In fact, that is something that I wanted to talk to you guys about is Randall Constant. This guy, when it comes to SSI scores, and if you're not familiar, that's a score that LinkedIn assigns to every single person on the network. And it's based off of your personal brand, how you are branded on the network, how your activity is, and all the, there's a few other factors that go into play. And Randall is the top in the food services industry. Correct me if I'm wrong, Randall, but anyways, I wanted to let you know how much I appreciate you because you have been sharing my broadcast. You've been letting people know that it's happening. You've been introducing me to people in your network, and I think it's awesome. So I wanted to thank you for that. And I also wanted to just, really let you know how much I appreciate you, Randall. So this is just an example of what he shared just earlier today. And I just wanted to thank you, give you a shout out because I appreciate you. Randall, I think you're awesome. And I appreciate you. So thank you very much. And thank you to all the people who connect with me. There's so many people who are just like hardcore, awesome LinkedIn connections that I truly appreciate. And all of your comments. You know, I jump back in the comments after the live show. I start answering your questions and doing anything I can help. So please feel free to reach out. And for those of you who are having conversations in your organizations about building personal brands at the corporate level, and you guys need training, hi, please feel free to connect me to those who are having those conversations so I can show them how I can help them. Also, for those of you who are building your brands on your own, I do have 1 or 2 spots in my coaching roster right now. I keep it very limited, but right now it's summertime, so hey, I got spots. Let me know. But definitely at the corporate level, for anybody whose brand has to be out there, face-to-face with clients, they're out there building partnerships, they're out there leading, they're out there speaking on behalf of the organization, they're co-creating content with other people within the organization. There's a strategy to be had, and there's training that is needed so that we can take these Gen-Exers, we can take these baby boomers, we can take these millennials and truly make sure that they represent their organization. So if you guys got questions, slide me a DM. Use the new tools that I taught you how to use, and I would love to get connected. And of course, guys, as we wrap up for today, I just want to know if there are any final questions before I wrap up. Oh my gosh, I'm under an hour. That's kind of cool. Let's see. I'll have to do a live on my tech. Yeah. Once I figure out my tech, I will definitely do a live. It's definitely a work in progress. I'm going to try out some other tech as well so that I can give you guys a comparison, because again, this is all free stuff pretty much, but there are some very robust applications that are a lot easier than what I'm doing. I literally MacGyvered this stuff. I was like, I'm going to figure it out. So I figured it out, but it's not for the faint of heart. I also worked in broadcasting. I worked in live broadcasting. I used to work in sports broadcasting, actually. So I'm used to switching and I'm used to multitasking and still figuring it out. And that was a while ago. So, like I said, not for the faint of heart, but definitely figure outable. But I will be testing other tech and then doing a full rundown on what I suggest based off of budget, based off of complexity. So I promise to do that. And let's see if there's any other questions. I'm going to check one more time. They're coming. But you know what, guys? I wanted to let you know that I do appreciate you guys hanging in there, watching the show, sticking it out, learning stuff. And if there's something you need to learn, if there's something that you want to know more about, please let me know. Wow, this is better than any show on TV. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm not trying to compete with Shonda, and I know I can't, but I do appreciate the love all the same, Natasha. I love this, and we never know. Are those SSI scores public? They are only visible to you. So you can see your SSI score by going to linkedin.com/sales/SSI. It might be, I think that's it. Yeah, I believe so. If not, if you just Google LinkedIn SSI score, you'll get to the link that will show you your specific score. It's great because it compares you to other people in your network as well as other people in your industry. So you can see how you're doing. You don't have to live and die by this score, honestly, because part of it is LinkedIn making sure that they're gamifying you staying on the network and incentivizing you through this score so it can be competitive with yourself. But it's good to watch. All data, all metrics, whether they're vanity metrics or hardcore metrics, they're all informative and can help us. So let's see. Linda said she loves her coaching sessions with me. Well, Linda, I love coaching you too. So that is awesome. And Diana says, Cher, you are awesome. Keep sharing and it will keep coming back to me over and over. Thank you so much. And the only thing on my TV schedule is Saints football on Sundays. And I'm the only one set for LinkedIn Live schedule. Thank you so much, Randall. What's interesting is this is the concept that I've been playing with on LinkedIn for my entire time has always been appointment-based content. And that concept is really about training people to expect when they can find you, as opposed to flooding with a lot of content. I come out with one piece, maybe two pieces of valuable content a week, and you can count on it. So I used to do my videos on Thursdays, and you would see Just Ask Cher every Thursdays. I'd send out videos. And now I'm doing LinkedIn Lives every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is a great way for me to wrap up. Thank you guys so much for watching. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you. And I definitely want to know, I want to make sure, like, are we connected yet? Seriously. Like, yeah, I know that's me with straight hair, but my hair is curly and straight depending on the weather. Today's one of those days where it's definitely going to be curly. So, question is, are we connected? I want to make sure that we're connected. So I'm on all these networks as It's Cher Jones, whether it's Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and you can find me on Facebook too. If you just search Cher Jones, you'll find me. Love to connect. And as well, if you want more resources, those videos that I mentioned, those Just Ask Cher videos, are on my LinkedIn channel. On my YouTube channel. So are you subscribed? Do you want to learn some cool tricks in like 7 minutes or less? I got tons of videos there. And so make sure you subscribe. I'd love to connect. I would love to meet you at where you are, socially speaking. And if you have questions, if you have episode ideas, if there's anything you want to know, all you need to do is Just Ask Cher. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, on hopefully just about any network, but especially on LinkedIn. Thanks again for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.